What's going on, everyone? FoxTailWhipz here, back with another video. And today I'm going to be showing you this PC that I got on Facebook Marketplace. And I'll be telling you how I got it and how much I got it for. And then I'll be telling you guys what the specs are. It's pretty crazy. So let's get right into it. So before we get into the specs of this insane PC, first I'm going to tell you the story of how I got it. So basically, I'm on Facebook Marketplace about every day just searching, looking at electronics to buy. And I come across this computer. It's bright and early. I think it was like 9 o'clock in the morning. And I see this ad for this, like, I don't know what it's like, editing and gaming PC or something. And it was $600. So I click on it. I'm like, alright, let me check this out. You know, I always look at all the PCs just to see what the specs are. And I look at it and there's this ad. I'll actually put the screenshots up right now. I took screenshots of the ad. So I'm looking through the ad and I see like it's got some crazy specs for $600, and I'm like, alright, like this is like well worth it for $600 even. And if I can talk them down, that would be even better. So I see this posted. I think it was like posted under 15 minutes ago when I see it. And I messaged the guy right away and I'm like, hey, like, are you available today? Like, I'm really interested in this. And he texts back like a few minutes later and he says, yeah, it's still available, but there's a bunch of people texting me about it. Like, I think he said he got over like 10 or 20 texts already, like within the 15 minutes. And so I'm like, alright, I'm like, shoot. It was like about 45 minutes away, like from where I live. So I text him, I'm like, I have cash in hand right now, I can come like whenever you're ready. And he says, alright. He says, I'll tell you what, I get out of work at 3, if you can come like around 4, and it's yours. And I'm like, alright, that sounds good to me. So I pretty much run to the bank, grab cash, and around 3 o'clock I leave, head down there, and I get there, and he like just got out of work, so he actually just started like resetting it. And as you know, that takes a while, but that was alright. I went in and checked it out. So it's this PC right here, the desktop, and it also came with this 4K monitor, Samsung monitor, as well as when we got in there, there's this keyboard and this trackpad. He said he'd just give along with it because he didn't need them anymore. So it was all that, and he wanted $600 for it. So I'm going in there and you're just checking it out, and basically the only issue with it is there's a water cooler on the CPU, and it was like just an all-in-one cooler, and it was leaking a little bit. Obviously it wasn't working, you know, to its full potential, so it needed a new CPU cooler, and that was the only issue with it. He had it up and running just to, you know, reset it, and it looked fine to me. I mean, I looked through it and everything really looked fine to me, just besides that cooler. So I knew I needed to get a new cooler for it before I really did anything with it. I mean, I'm totally fine with paying the $600, but I talked to him. I was like, all right, would you take $500 for it, just because, you know, I'm here right now and you don't have to bother with any other people and stuff. And he says, yeah, you know, I don't even really care at this point. You can take it for $500, and I'm like, sounds good to me. Like, $500 for this thing is crazy. So we load it up, head back, and that's basically where we're at right now. And I took the cooler off, and I already bought a new one actually. I got just a Corsair H100i right here. I got this from Best Buy the day I bought the PC, I think. So I got that all ready to go. The thing is, with the processor it has, I need to get I ordered a different bracket for it to be able to use that cooler with it. But I'll go ahead and show you the old cooler, if I can find it. Here's the old cooler. I actually took it apart just because I love messing with stuff, but basically it's an Enermax. I don't know the actual model of it. I know it's just an Enermax, and it's like a huge radiator on it. So this is the old one. It was leaking out of, I don't know what seal it was. I believe it's right here. You can kind of see it's like bowed a little bit. And it was kind of just like really slowly leaking out of there. But that's pretty much about it. So yeah, I just kind of took that apart. It's kind of gunky in there and stuff. But anyways, I'm not sure I'm going to do with this yet. I might put it back together and maybe just try to sell it as parts or something. I'm not sure somebody would want it, but I mean, if you want it, then comment below. But so that's the old cooler. And so I got the new one, the H100i. And right now I'm waiting for a bracket so I can actually connect it to the CPU, and then I can get it up and running. That should be everything I need to get it going. I'll give it like a deep clean, and I'm planning on selling it. I'm gonna edit a few videos with it and just see how it is, and test it out. Gotta give it the old one too, but then I'm gonna sell it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna part it out yet or if I'm gonna sell it as a whole on eBay. I guess comment below, what do you think what do you think would be better? I know I could get more money potentially from parting it out and selling everything separate, but I know some things it would take a lot longer to sell. Like the case and like the hard drives and stuff. That'd be take a lot longer to sell those rather than just selling it as a whole, like working computer. But I do know the graphics card alone I could sell for close to $500 potentially, and the monitor I could sell it for like 150 bucks, and right there would be more than what I paid for. I paid $500 for it all. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet with it, if I'm gonna part it out or sell it as a whole, but I'll figure it out once I get it up and going and run some benchmarks on it. But anyways, let's head back up and I'll give you a little tour of the actual computer itself. Alright, so I'm gonna give you guys a little tour of the specs of the computer. You're gonna be pretty amazed for $500. But before that, make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. I put a lot of time and effort into these videos, and it would seriously make my day if you guys hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos, and yeah, anyways, let's get right into this, the specs of this insane beast. Let's do it. So as you can see right here, it's pretty well put together. Cable management could be better, but I don't mind about that. I'm just more focused on the actual specs itself. And as you can see right here, first things first, the biggest thing in here, we got the graphics card right here. It's a GTX 1080 Ti. So it's got the 11 gigabytes of VRAM, and this thing's just a beast. I've never had anything close to this powerful in one of my computers before, and I think this new, it was like $1,000 just for this graphics card when it came out. And of course it is a few years old at this point. I believe he built this computer in 2017, and that's when all these components were brand new. He did say it costed him, I believe it was around $2,500 to build this computer when he built it. So it's a pretty insane computer at the time that was built, and it still is right now. But yeah, it's got a GTX 1080 Ti right here, as well as Corsair 1000 watt power supply, and of course it's modular. It's pretty much one of the best 1000 watt power supplies you can get, really. And right here we got two hard drives. One of them is, I believe, a 1 terabyte, and the other one is a 6 terabyte hard drive. And then as well, behind all this, behind the motherboard on the other side, there's a 250 gigabyte SSD, which is the boot drive. So that's pretty nice. Got a lot of storage. Right here, we got, I believe, 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, and it's RGB Corsair RAM. Nothing too crazy about it. And there is 4 more open slots right here on the motherboard, so you can add even more RAM. And then right here, the star of the show, we got a Threadripper 1900X processor. This thing really is a beast. It's I believe it's 8 cores, 16 threads, and it's huge. Like I was really surprised how big it was when I took the cooler off, because this thing's like twice as big as like the i5s and i7s that I'm used to building in PCs. But yeah, that's the main star of the show right there, the Threadripper 1900X. That thing's crazy. And holding everything, we got an X399 motherboard. I don't know the full details on the motherboard. I can pull it up right now actually and let you know what the motherboard is. So it's got an Asus ROG Strix X399E gaming motherboard. So I think I looked up and that's like a couple $100 just for the motherboard right there. And it's got a lot of upgrade potential, a lot of RAM slots. It's a pretty crazy motherboard. So another weird thing that I saw when I first looked at it is this right here. I believe this is the Wi-Fi adapter, and it like plugs right into the motherboard. It's kind of cool. So you can, I'm sure, probably has pretty good fast Wi-Fi. And that's just something cool I noticed. It's like just a little magnetic antenna. Right here we got a Samsung monitor. It's the U28E. It's a 28-inch monitor, and this I believe is like $300 new. So I can probably sell it for like 150 bucks if I do end up selling it. But yeah, this thing's pretty crazy right here. That's the complete setup and some Chick-fil-A honey mustard sauce. This is the greatest of all time, but that didn't come with it. So this is it. This is the full setup right here. It's basically everything you need to really get into gaming, except it's like a monster of a PC for 600 bucks. I mean, for that price, if you were to build your own, it'd be like a quarter of the performance of this. So it's pretty crazy for the price. But you guys are gonna have to wait until the next video to actually see it up and running and see the benchmarks of it. So make sure you subscribe, because benchmarks are gonna be pretty crazy on it. I can't wait to see what it does, or how it does. But yeah, that's the PC I got for $500 right there. GTX 1080 Ti Threadripper PC, $500, Facebook Marketplace. Make sure you guys always check Marketplace. I mean, I'm on there every single day looking for deals, and if you keep looking, you might find something like this someday. You know, I was pretty lucky to get this when I did. If I was even an hour later, I probably would have already been sold. So make sure you guys stay tuned to see the update on this once I get it up and running with the bracket for the cooler, and run some benchmarks on it, see how it does with editing. I'll run through all the paces with it, and I'll keep you guys updated. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, listening to my little story time with FoxTailWhipz here. Stay tuned, like this video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.